that we like to go is we talk about making sure we have the right pack at the right price in the right place. So having a different size pack that'll have a different price point, that'll take some pressure off the consumer while they're shopping. So those are some of the things that we're doing. But in general, the cereal category is a place that a lot of folks might come to because the price of a bowl of cereal with milk and with fruit is less than $1.
You lying son of a bitch. That is not how that works.
J360 Radio!
Hey, how's it going, J360 Legion? Welcome to the J-Man Show for episode 323. We are back on here at the new home of J360 Radio, which is j360radio.mixler.com. So anybody who's out there, you know, J-Man's here, and it's a live show, and we're going to be talking the shit. We're going to be catching up on some old times. And not to mention, it's good to be here, guys. So, one way or another, I guess you take from the clip that the news is still as bullshit as it's always been, right? Yeah. You know, a lot of things have happened since, you know, the reconstruction around here. So, like, I've been gone for a while, as you know. And it's just like I've been looking at topics to talk about on the way back in. And, well, the world has not ran out of short supply of that. And indeed, like, as I'm looking at this stuff, where to begin? Well, we're going to begin with food. So, cereal for dinner, huh? So that's now the most popular thing. By the way, shout outs and hello to Ferkenstein in the chat. You know, Jams is tomorrow, my brother. Just letting you know that, and you on the playlist. I just want to go ahead and let you know about that as I get into the wildness. So, cereal for dinner. It's not an unbelievable concept because, you know, it's food, right? You know what I'm saying? Like, we all eat cereal. We have ate cereal. You know, some of us had to go back to it. Hell, some of us went back to PB&J. You know, it's just like... It's been a part of you, so you know this stuff. But you see, the thing is, because he went ahead and said, during the times of peak inflation, it's been kind of hard for those of us to get, like, certain meals, you know what I mean? Some of us have actually skipped breakfast in the long run, especially as adults, you know what I mean? Because we focus all that attention to lunch, and then sometimes dinner, and then sometimes, you know, you might do a reverse of that where you eat breakfast and lunch, and then no dinner. It just happens because things are just costing too much and it's just impossible to keep up with. You know, like everything went up, but our wages, right? So you have to figure like little things like that is exactly what's causing the problem now. And like, you know, from time to time, I feel for all my people out there working, especially if you in production jobs, factory jobs, manufacturing, supply distribution, all that stuff. I really feel for you because, you know, there are times where people order too much of one thing and it don't sell and that stuff sits back there. Or there's times where they order too less of stuff. Then all of a sudden you got to deal with that little problem too. And it's just like trying to meet those demands and that quota every time can really be taxing on somebody, especially mental health, which is why like during Christmas and stuff, I'm not hard on people like who are, you know, like let's just say those that are working at Amazon. Those at the board and everything, the hell with them. Middle management, the hell with them too. I'm talking about those that actually have to go through and fulfill those orders. Those that are on the road all the time during hazardous times or during hazardous weather and having to fulfill, you know, things that we feel entitled to have. You know what I'm saying? I really feel for them. And, you know, like if anything else, they're not making, you know, the company and the board is making record-making profits, but it's the people that are working that are getting like, you know, less than zero amount and all that kind of stuff. It's really a shame. And then sometimes they try to give you that itchy and scratchy money, you know what I mean? Like, oh yeah, if you work here, you can get like 2 Costco bucks and that'll help you. Yeah, that's not going to pay the light bill, motherfucker. You know, it's little things, especially when it comes to important things such as rent and all that stuff. They know that there's a problem here, and they know there's money that's not being used in the right way of things. Like, you know, it used to be you could give people raises every year, but, oh yeah, we stopped doing that a long time ago, right? And, you know, let alone all that stuff going on, now you're talking about food. And you see, like, I've been eating cereal for dinner for years, man. I've done that. You know what I'm saying? Before it became popular. Now, Kellogg started to try to use that as a marketing ploy to say, like, hey, there's a choice for you. Now, granted, people, when I mentioned all that stuff earlier, there is a choice for you. There always is one. It may not be the most popular, and there might be time where it's like, it could be the most drastic. It could be a lot of things. You know what I'm saying? Depending on your situation, because we're all at different rates at different times. But when it comes right down to it, you're looking at like, okay, let's go ahead and hang out with Tony the Tiger tonight. I can understand it if I was a college student or if I'm like somebody that's, early 20s, single, all that kind of stuff, just starting out. But, like at the end of the day, like if you get to a certain point and you have like a family of 4 to feed and stuff like that, you do want to go ahead and try to give them something a little more. You know what I'm saying? To be that provider, to be all those things. And like sometimes you may not even spend as much time with your family because you might be doing the night shift and all that kind of stuff. But you do provide, right? So like, yeah, oh yeah, we're going to have a bowl of cold cereal together for dinner, a family of 4. And what he just said, it's less of $1. Now, you realize this stuff, like I even did the math for this crap. Like some of that stuff averages out to at least like 10 or 15. And then sometimes it can hit 20 if you really bought like, let's say like two half gallons of milk or whatever. Like, sometimes people try to go into the smaller sections and try to double up on that as a way of thinking they're beating the price, but that's just not how it works. Matter of fact, you paid more when you could have got the complete one. You always look for the best value of stuff. But, there are people out here that don't use that. And they're banking on it, dude. And then not to mention the shrinkification that's going on because, yeah, sure, the box is big, but the bag has been reduced and all that kind of stuff. Doritos have been getting away with that for years. But, Doritos is not a healthy food anyway. But let's talk about, like, cereal and snack, a little different. But when it comes back to cereal and stuff, he knows damn well that stuff does not average out less than the cost of $1. His cereal doesn't even average out to the less of a cost of $1. You know what I'm saying? Like, at least with the store brand, you could get, like, maybe a couple of dollars off. Like, maybe they could be about $3 maybe. But still, anytime you are doing greater than $1 is usually $1. It's just like, what the hell is he talking about? Like, I don't even think in the 70s it was like that, right? You know what I'm saying? What the hell is he on, man? But what's scary is that how out of touch he is. And then the fact that everybody else out there who wasn't paying attention to it missed it. But there were plenty of people who actually called him out on his shit. And Kellogg is getting thrown through the rigors again. Because I think they were in trouble not too long ago for not paying the people right. Or what was it? It was like they weren't giving them raises. Or they were firing people that was in charge of delivering for them. There's a whole lot of things with that company. But it's like this. Yeah, sure, pal. We'll go ahead and look into like some cereal and stuff. But it's not going to be your cereal. Matter of fact, it's going to be the store brands. It's going to be those Malto meals back in the day. Well, even though you got to be careful with that. Because Malto meal is now owned by Post, right? So, and Post is a little bit better. But it's no different than Kellogg. Because that's the second number 2 brand. So you got to pay attention to certain things. But food is a weird concept right now anyway, because like there are times where like a lot of us want to eat clean and eat healthier, but you got to pay close to an arm and a leg to have that. And even if you got the most affordable one, it's the most minuscule small pack anyway. So you'll be done with that and you'll be back in the store again. Because, a lot of us, we buy in bulk. We buy to make sure that we get through either the next couple of weeks or so. Like, we try to prepare for things when you go to, like, supermarket shopping. Now, you got some motherfuckers that come up in there every damn day for some God knows what reason. But, I ain't one of those people. And I'm sure, like, some of you guys that I talk to are not one of those people either. You know what I mean? Because you got other things to handle. At least that, game knows game at that point. But, like, not everybody is doing well. And unfortunately, not everybody lives in recession either. Like, you'll sit there, you'll talk about volume, but here's the thing. They will mess with that volume. They will shrink it down. They'll do what they can to cook the books. Like, all that stuff is out in the woodworks every day. All that stuff is out there. It's like, they're not even hiding it anymore. I think Pepsi has done a bunch of notorious stuff for years when it came to, soda drinking. And remember, your drink, your choice. But here's the thing. Like, they have also been cooking books and stuff like that. All this stuff has been happening. Even it goes into our entertainment, too. So how are we going to fight this one out? Oh, we're going to eat cereal for dinner? Here's the thing. You'll find a way to make your dinner, but don't be banking into this ad campaign stuff. And if you're going to boycott Kellogg, go for all the store prices, go for all the store brand stuff. And it seemed like, some people will be like no names and all. If you feel a certain way about a class system when it comes to like the cereal and the food that you eat and all that stuff, it's like, get this, like, that's part of the problem anyway. That elitist thinking is what really, really traps us up. You know what I'm saying? So you got to kind of break away from that stuff a little bit. And I can only imagine, because we get in the cookout season and all that stuff, it's just like, where in the hell does he get off with that? But that's for people that are financially strapped and all these other things. But people that are financially strapped, they're not going to stay in that same situation, if you get what I mean. They're going to find other ways. This is where getting adaptable means to be the most important thing. So, if you know the right solution, and I know some of y'all do that, all right? But, hey, it's cereal for dinner, right? I mean, at the end of the day, it's like being 12 again. Only thing is, you're not looking at any cartoons. You're looking at the 6 o'clock news or some shit. And you're just looking at nonsense going on if you work a night shift. So, yeah. Yeah, wild stuff, man. Wild stuff. But like I said, if it ain't them, it's usually some crazy shit going on in entertainment, which, like, honestly, I love the Dune movies. I am here for the fact that you guys are loving Dune and I'm loving Dune. Like, yeah, it is amazing. And, like, everybody's, like, all in, and it's a beautiful time. You know what I mean? But there are parts about this stuff, like, I don't know why they have to have every damn director come out of the woodwork and give his 2 cents on what's killing the media, even though, like, the medium isn't dying. Like film will never die. Film will always be around. Will it go into streaming full time? Maybe. Will it go into other aspects all the time? Could be. But it's like, anytime that this stuff grows, I see it like the ones that are in the industry saying some crazy shit, or the ones that are writing like journalism about it, saying some horrible takes. And that's what I usually go after. Like, I mean, I'm sure some of y'all have seen me make comments and say all these all these things like, what kind of innate bullshit is this? Such as like, streaming is killing the ability for theaters to make a profit. Are you serious? Because, for the longest damn time, newspaper companies thought television was killing it. Even though, like, newspaper companies are still around, too. There's a lot of older people that read newspapers. It's like, you would think, in a perfect world, there's room for everything, right? There's room for all that stuff. Like, it's kind of like me doing the shows right here. I could sit there and get paranoid and say, 24/7 YouTube channels are killing the ability to do podcasts and radio broadcasts or any sort of videos or any of that. But they're really not. It's just another form of content. And even then, it's like, how much is too much? And we don't really know that anymore because, like, a long time ago, we had cable come into our lives and cable never turned off. Matter of fact, cable got fucking bigger, as a matter of fact. And then it turned into streaming, which, by the way, like, all the stuff regarding streaming and everything, you never really left cable, baby. Cable just knew that you was just going to come back. We just came under a different name, It's the funniest stuff that you'll ever see. But what it is that, like, usually directors such as, like, Ridley Scott will say something because nobody liked his Napoleon movie, and there's a lot of people that didn't care for the other Aliens movies, and he can't take criticism because he is the Ridley Scott. And, like, Dennis Villeneuve is, like, Villeneuve or whatever. I don't care. You can correct me later, and even then I won't pay attention. But it's like this. His whole thing about, like, television is destroying movies, which at the same time it is not. What it is that television is picking up on scripts that movies have passed on and turned them into series and stuff. And motherfuckers are making bank from TV. Because if you can't go as far as you can with, it's kind of like WWE and main roster and NXT. In NXT, you could do great. You could grow. You could be amazing, which is what development is. But you hope that you make it a main roster, and then you go to main roster and they don't do nothing with you. That's kind of the same thing with movies and TV. Like, yeah. You want that silver screen. You want to be out there on the big screen, the IMAX and all, your work. Like, whether you're a writer, whether you're a director, whether you're an actor, all that kind of stuff. You want to be there. But for some reason, something blocks you or gets in your way or puts a hook in you and holds you down to that same mid-card level. And it's just really, really like, it can be very defeating and soul-crushing in some cases. But not anymore, because when, like, streaming came along with the small medium and stuff, those things started getting really, really interesting. A lot better than like these movies that were coming out, like the movies that do all those gender statements and all that other stuff, or identity politics, which we'll talk about a little bit later. But any of that other crap that just comes out of the woodwork into those movies, it's like, well, you know what? I paid money to go see this, whereas I could see something else for free. I got my sound system set up. I got my TV right where I want it. I think I'm just going to go with that for a little bit. You know what I'm saying? Not to mention the prices of everything here. And I'm annoyed by all the other motherfuckers sitting in here sleeping and chewing their food all loud. And like the one person that's trying to blog and watch the movie at the same time, his camera flashes keep going where I'm at. It's like, the hell with this. You know, like, yeah, it'd be like that. Some of them people aren't in there just sitting there watching the movie and saying, huh, I like this. No, they're sitting in there doing every damn thing else but watching the movie. And then when the movie's over, they'll be like, this movie sucks, and I have a reason why. I really felt like I blah, 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 instead of telling you what happened on that screen. Don't think I don't notice. You see? So, like, yeah, you could go ahead and sit here probably with a group of your friends and all that stuff, got the streaming connected, and then, like, everything just plays out similar to IMAX and all, because you know what? You ain't worried about nothing. You're just sitting there watching that. Now, there could be moments where the screen doesn't buff right. There could be moments where, you know, you're in 480p instead of 1080p. Damn this shit, but you got it for free, didn't you? Well, I'm just kidding. And then there's cases where people paid for it, you know, like when streaming's available. And then, like, you know, it looks like hell. But it is what it is. However your server goes and however your internet is, pal. But yeah, at the same time, I think streaming did save the industry because it was convenient. But you know how it is. Like, more and more people, it's got to be this way. It's got to be made like that. It's got to be the movie in my head. No, it's got to be a representative of what the hell that damn script is rather than the movie in your head, which is why a lot of people are going to be sorely disappointed about that Crow movie that's coming, but it might actually be fucking good because it could be some action. It could be a lot of cool stuff going on in there, but we'll never know because you probably seen this shit already, right? Right. That's a damn shame. I mean, I could go further into like ESG and all these other problems that are around here because, you know, ugly women need love, baby. Ugly women need love. You know what I mean? Who cares if she has a lantern jaw and she doesn't have, like, you know, the talents to actually get by? She makes up for it in her other manly builds and everything because, you know, that is the goal. The hell it is. Look, I'll be honest with you. There's plenty of room on this planet for a lot of things. But when it comes to, like, the narrative that just never dies, or when it comes to, like, all this other stuff where, like, hacks are invading the things that we enjoy, such as, like, comics, movies, TV, anything dealing with pop culture nowadays has been kicked the fuck out of because, like, you got some of these angry-ass women that want to be men, that want to be accepted for any things that they do, and don't want to be criticized, and they come up with all this stuff nowadays. And they hijack this stuff. It's like, you know, you can have a strong female lead, but you got to have stuff happening and changing for this person for me to give a damn. You know, like Rey from Star Wars a long time ago, she had a chance, baby. But in them later two films, she was doing things that, you know, Luke struggled to do and all that stuff. You know, I was like, why do I care about this character? Like, what is she all about? And then they, you know, wrote themselves into a hole and they just say, hey, she's a Palpatine, all that other stuff. Like, then what the hell is up with her parents and stuff? Did it skip a generation or some shit? Like, you know, all of the questions that you have will never be answered. Of course, like, they're trying to bring it back with Star Wars 10 and it's supposed to be a standalone. And I'm like, once again, just stop. Just stop for a minute. You're doing good with The Mandalorian. You're doing good with all these series. But now that you're doing this and then you're trying to, once again, ruin it with rhetoric that doesn't make any sense. Oh, and then the funny part is, we're going to scare the hell out of men. We're going to scare the hell out of white men. We don't even know if black men exist, but if they do, they're magical, but there's no part in here. This is about women lifting women. Right. You see, the thing about it is, if you've been in business long, like I've been in business and stuff, like there are plenty of brands that I worked with, and there are plenty of people that I've associated with, in addition to building J360 Productions. But you have to realize this. The only color I should care about is green. The only thing I should care about keeping things afloat is money. Now, corporate culture and all that stuff doesn't see eye to eye with the way your feelings are, and it never will, but not at this stage. Not at this stage. You know, because it's about money. Money is what business thrives on, especially for-profit businesses. And, you know, you can keep things together with your team to keep things afloat. That's a wonderful thing. But scaring the hell out of men and all this stuff, you know, you just shot yourself in the foot. Matter of fact, you did that, and what I said about black men earlier, you shot yourself in both feet, and you're bleeding out, hemorrhaging, and your ass is up. It's like, this is how your business falls apart, because I don't know if you know this, but I don't come with a time limit per se. I'm still alive somehow, and somehow, like, other men are still alive too. But the thing is that we like entertainment, we like watching things, we like seeing women do cool stuff. In addition to, we don't turn our back on our own doing cool shit either. And then not to mention this, anybody out here is not going to like you. They're going to criticize you. They're going to say stuff about you. They're going to look at your body of work. They're going to look at your tweets from the past. They're going to look at all those things about you. And then whether they love you or they hate you is a whole different concept. You know what I mean? Like, I do a lot of great things for the people around me, but do I get recognition for it? Sometimes, but not as much as I feel as though I should. And then there are moments where, like, you know, people try to act like they're better than me, and then they destroy themselves because at the end of the day they get obsessed with it rather than just show what their work could do. It's a shame. We as people sometimes are the biggest fucking morons to each other and in general. It's unbelievable we are where we are. We're in the future and we're still having the same 3 different arguments, man. It's just weird to me. Like, even now with movies, like, movies are here to entertain and for the businesses and all parties involved to make money. There are people out there who have never made one damn movie and they think, like, they deserve, like, the pay rate of Meryl Streep. Or, like, you know, or even with Oprah. Oprah is a big case of, you know, she made it and stuff. You know, but she'll tell you she came from Chicago, but she ain't did shit for Chicago. You know? And then not to mention, she's sitting on Harvey Weinstein's lap in a well-known photo. They were friends, you know? And then she had a nerve to come out wearing a black dress saying, "Time is up." I'm like, fuck you, Oprah. You know what I mean? And then not only that, she unleashed, like, Dr. Phil on all of us. And, well, we can't take back too much. And then not to mention anything Tyler Perry does. But allegedly Tyler Perry backed down the scale of his studio because allegedly AI is out there. It's like, once again, there's too much shit going on to really just look at these things. If you should look at AI as one thing, look at it as a tool. Look at it as something that could help you, but not something to overall get involved in. It's kind of like certain tools that are made for you. Like, people will go and diss people for using green screens nowadays for some reason. Oh, because of Unreal 5. Do I look like I give a damn and have the time to use Unreal 5 right now? I'm using the green screen. You know, it's weird to me. Like, this is how you know that some people have progressed a little faster, but some people love to use what they have. I don't have a huge sound stage right now. But when I get one, then we can go ahead and talk about all that other stuff that has too many zeros that it costs a little bit more than my friggin' house. You know what I'm saying? It's just wild to me, like, how people do this stuff. And it's always like a weird flex. You know? I just, like, look. Wherever you are in your career, stop worrying about, like, where other people have all that fancy stuff. The best technology will not make you the best creator. You have to use what you have. And then the thing about it is stop worrying about people pandering and, you know, stop pandering to people that don't give you that same consideration. You need to work on yours. You need to focus on your stuff. You need to go ahead and just say, you know, to hell with that shit. I'm going to make the story I'm going to make. I mean, you didn't give a damn about it. The studios passed on it, but I believed in it enough to go ahead and do this thing, so I'm going to go ahead and try to make a mint. And the reason why I say that story is because, you know, remember the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles movie in the 90s, the very first one? That was the highest grossing independent film of all time way back in the day because all these damn major studios passed on it during its hype. Every damn one of them, they looked at it and said, no, we're not going to deal with it. We're not going to deal with it. Oh, we don't want to deal with it. Now, Golden Harvest came in there along with Raymond Chow and, like, Steve Bannon and worked with him and all. It's a different Steve Bannon, not the one that in the political game. But, you know, worked with him and all the other people that were involved in Jim Henson's Creature Shop and made one hell of a damn good movie. And made bank. Made enough bank 3 times over and laughed at all of them. That was the biggest movie release. See, that's how you know. Like, just because they wearing suits and just because they sit behind, like, Apple computers and all these other conglomerates and stuff like that does not mean that they know what the hell they're talking about. Do you see what I'm saying? You can have a great IP. You can have a great will. You can have a great dream. You can have all of this stuff right here, and you can come out winning. And the truth is that they will never expect it, or they'll be sitting there with their mouth gaping open like, how did we miss that? Because you're fucking morons. And the truth is that a lot of those feminists out here, they're mad at themselves. They've been mad for years. They've been mad about some sort of situations. Now, I'm not going to go after the ones that have had problems with men, that have had, like, been, you know, raped and all that kind of stuff. That's a very serious problem. But I'm talking about those that got stood up during prom, or at the same time don't know how to function in the real world, don't answer the call back and all that stuff. A victim of their own idiosyncrasies and their own insecurities and stuff, and then got the nerve because of the internet to take it out on everybody. Like this, like there are many women in the Jam Fam at one time I pretty much got rid of because of their bullshit. I said, look, get some therapy, get some help, fix yourself up. I'm not working with you. When you get on out of here, that'll be the last time you're on this program. You know what I'm saying? Like, and it seems like I'm harder on women. No, I'm hard on men too. It's like, at the end of the day, it's like when I see people do this stuff and you run around dumping your pain down on people and blaming people because, hey, you didn't get certain views, or hey, you didn't make it to this level, or hey, you didn't finish that book you're supposed to write, or you didn't do the audition like you're supposed to. And you know, at the end of the day, you think like you're entitled to shit, you can get bent. You know? Or any of them broads on OnlyFans that are sitting there thinking that they're heroes because I've achieved financial freedom by clapping my ass and doing what Karen Steffens did. You're not a hero to me. I could give a damn. You know what I mean? If you going ahead and you doing what you can and trying not to eat cereal for dinner and stuff, or you going ahead and you trying to make other things work out for you without thinking that I should care, then that's fine. You understand what I'm saying? But, you know, you got people out here that made money off of desperate, lonely motherfuckers giving them money and stuff. The Marvins of the world. If you watch the Players Club, you know what I'm talking about. The Marvins of the world. Then you would know how you made your money. Some of y'all talk about, I achieve financial freedom by running a business, by doing blah, 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 and all this. It's like, oh, no. You achieve financial freedom because some guy paid money to you, or probably thought he was in a parasocial relationship with you, or at the end of the day, you shoved a banana right where Lizzo wanted you to. That's how you made your money. Because it's the oldest form of marketing ever, and there's more and more people that are so, repressed about sex because, well, either A, they never had it, or B, like all this other stuff. That's why they act the way they do. It's just like how some people agree with a woman who's obviously toxic and dangerous to herself because they feel as though they could get like a little hand job or a little handout or any of that stuff, or like, booty picture and all that stuff. Like, it happens a lot in journalism too, where like, there's a female journalist and stuff, and she does some lewd pics just to get like information and stuff. It's a lot of shit that goes down. You'd be surprised. There's more quid pro quoing going on than a little bit, and we'll get into that preferential treatment a little bit later, probably on another episode. But yeah, that stuff happens because that's the underbelly of things. Sex sells, doesn't it? But apparently the gaming industry doesn't seem to understand that, and the movie industry is not too far behind, because they've taken some of the most ugly, booger bear, disgusting motherfuckers and put them on screen. Now, whereas I like to say this, body positivity only works for women. There are not women out here, and I'm quoting Marco from this, there are not women out here that say they love fat guys. So any of you Bruce types and all the other stuff, or those of you that are kind of swole right now, I know I'm kind of a little bit, the pandemic did that, but I'm going to work on mine. But the thing about it is this, they're not saying that shit. And even then, I could pull some chicks. It's amazing. But anyway. What it is like, they're not saying the men out there. Because men don't have skin. Because men don't have, insecurities. Men don't have problems at all, right? And black men especially don't have it, man. We drones. We just pop up in there, we do what we do when we leave. Right? Right. Like, you know, it's just amazing with that, because body positivity don't work with men. All right? It don't. No matter how many times they try to lie. I wonder how many women actually understand that Dove for Men actually exists. Probably not a lot of them. But you see that shit. You know what I'm saying? Which is why I'll dive into, like, reverse discrimination a little bit later, too. But yeah, I got one of the ugly, disgusting motherfuckers popping on here saying, I'm sexy, take me for who I am and love me for me. Well, there's plenty of you out here, let's just be honest. But at the end of the day, hell no, hun. You could do this a little bit better in what class, and the thing about it is, there is no class in this. This is trash. All this is cringe being shown at me, and I don't even know who the hell you are. And as I say this, you're probably going to say I ain't shit, but I want you to know this. I'm getting tired of women that I barely know and have no idea what the hell I done did over the many years of existing, telling me I ain't shit. Like what? And you know what? You're telling me I ain't shit because I'm a man. I'm a man. There ain't no CIS involved or any of that stuff. I know I'm a man. 100% all the time. Like this. Like when I was growing up, I used to say that stuff all the time, even as I was in the gym doing my thing, because I have a linebacker's build. But the thing is, it's like this. I always say, I'm all man all the time. I have never had no damn gender fluidity or gender this and all this other stuff. My stuff never comes into question when it comes to that. Especially with my cock-slapping ways. You know what I mean? Like Ric Flair ain't the only one that can spin it around like a helicopter, baby. I'm just letting you know that. But it's like this. You know, like, and I have pride in myself, which, by the way, already eliminates most of these people because they want people to feel sorry for themselves and all this other stuff. I noticed this too. Everybody wants group misery nowadays. You're not getting it here. I want you to be happy with who you are. And if you know that you're not where you need to be at, you go ahead and you work on that. It's just like, even then, don't tell people you in the gym. Do it and get done with it, and then let your results show. That's what it is. Like, if I'm on personal journeys regarding, like, you know, eating better, you know, doing more workouts and all that stuff, you would never, ever know about it unless I tell you on this show. And that's it. Because you're not going to see pictures. You're not going to see any of this other stuff, because I think that's just vanity. And, you know, like, some of y'all will go ahead and do that stuff for other people to see it, not just you seeing it. It's a little different if you have like a personal journal, or if you have like a little personal gallery where you're showing your progression over the years, and that's a good thing. That is a good thing that you do that, because you kept it private and you kept it focused on you. But when you did that stuff, you broadcast it to the world. Have you ever seen like so many people talking about, I'm getting fit, I'm getting fit, and then you see them at the gym, and what are they doing, 2 pumps and leaving? You know what I'm saying? You see that stuff, and it's like, wow, the vanity and the entitlement is strong in this one. And while we're on the subject here, you know, I wish she would lift that bar a little bit more as she lift that damn Snickers bar. But I'm not thinking about that. That's your problem. That's your instance. But when you try to throw that shit in front of me after a while, and too many times, I'm not going to want to see any of this. And I'm talking to mainstream media for this one. It's like, look. There are some beautiful, big, curvy girls out here that look good. And then there's some not +7s out here that look, well, +7. Damn, that's a big bitch, huh? Look. There are some that are size, some say that they're not less than size 10 and all that stuff. No man really gives a damn, okay? As for a variety of men, there's a variety of women. And if you like fat girls, I know I have a homie that does. The point is that go for it. There is nothing holding you back. But, you know, at least with anything, like when it comes to attraction, you got to make yourself look good, okay? You can't be coming out like you came out of the tent city looking like shit all damn day, and you know the cooch ain't smelling so good. It smells like a, you know, New York sewer or some shit. Like, no, you don't want that. You see what I'm saying? You want somebody that cleans up, looks well, takes care of themselves, and, you know, doesn't have a problem being on a team with you. Sometimes relationships is about you and that other person. They're not about you and everybody else like it is now. It's just, everybody's a fucking idiot when it comes to that. And a lot of these married people are notorious for this shit too. You know, married men that want to be loved by everybody, so they go ahead and they try to jump out there to everybody like they single. Same thing for like married women that do that stuff. I want all the admiration of all the men. Ayesha Curry was notorious for that. It's like, them basketball wives get on my damn nerves. Every damn one of them. I mean, yeah, you coming out looking good, but, you know, here's the one time where it's like, guess what? We looking at the game, bitch. We ain't worried about you. You know what I'm saying? You popped out 3 kids. You know, my income is not on the level of his income. What the hell are you doing? You know? It's wild the way we are. But I know this kind of dives into... we kind of went on a little segue and a tangent with this one because I was supposed to be talking about the stuff that's going on with gaming. And by the way, isn't it amazing what's going on with gaming because people don't know when to say a game is not performing so well and, like, you know, live service games are a joke. In addition to, like, AAA gaming, it's just like, where the hell did we come up with all this shit? Whereas a long time ago, back in the early day, we just played games, we had a good time, and it took time from your day. You know? That's what it used to be. What the hell is this? Now it's got to be ESG scores. Now it's got to be checking boxes. Are people being well represented? Are, like, you know, are fat women accepted in addition to gay men being accepted and all this other extra stuff? Because we want to make it more approachable to gamers. You know this, right? Mario's been around for years, okay? And he's been an icon without all that stuff. Sonic's been around for years. He's been an icon without all that stuff. Granted, Rule 43 kind of... No, not Rule 43. Rule 34 kind of came in and messed with a lot of gaming's finest characters. But here's the thing. A lot of those characters and stuff, like even with the Final Fantasy crew, any of them, the women were just as important as the men were in that. And they never had to be pushed to an agenda-based toxic bullshit like what Sweet Baby and the rest of them people are doing. Or any of this stuff really came to a head back in 2014. Yeah, really. Back in 2014 with GamerGate. And now that it's 2024, motherfuckers are having a class reunion of sorts or something. Because I think, didn't Lego Butts come back not too long ago? Of all people, that was during the Zoe Quinn shit. And then not to mention, like, all of this gaming journalism nonsense. Because they're shills anyway. And, like, even Warner Brothers admits that Suicide Squad has been a flop. And I'm going to tell you this. Like, I'm not going to talk about how bad the game was because I hate the Suicide Squad. More on that in another episode. But it's the idea of, guess what? The game could have been cool. You hang with your homies. You're doing a lot of shooter-based missions and all that stuff. But you see, the thing is, it's kind of reminding you of Payday. But at least Payday was fun. You know, like me and Al Marco, and when Eric comes around, we'll have him on there, or whoever wants to be the fourth guy. We go and we do heists and all that kind of stuff there. Or, like, you know, some of the most unlawful things that should not be mentioned right now, we can do on that game, and it's fun. Whereas you look at Suicide Squad, you're supposed to be hunting down Justice League. You got too much repetition going on in one area. You got lackluster level design on another area. And then, like, each and every single part where the characters die, they don't show any sort of remorse for their actions. Most of them just die, and then, like, Batman got killed with a gun to the face. But here's the thing. They try to do damage control on that. Not Sweet Baby, mind you, but, you know, like, Rocksteady tried to do damage control. Say, it's not the other Batman. Batman's coming back. Damage is done. Damn it. Like, when you do stuff like that, the damage is done. Like, when you do, like, a little tick mark, it's over. The impact already hit. And then you connected it to the Arkham universe, which, by the way, the Arkham universe really surrounded just one person. Well, it surrounded the Bat family, the whole Batman franchise. I would have preferred if they made a series that dealt with Flash, maybe, or Green Lantern at least. Like, I would have loved to see that universe expanded with the other characters. Hell, even Wonder Woman. If you really wanted to do that, you could have used Wonder Woman and stuff. Hell, it's easier to probably make a game with her better than it is Superman. But even then, I still think that there's chances that there could be a good Superman game. You know what I mean? You could do one where he just is recovering from his solar flare or something like that. And he's got to get his powers back. Whereas Lex Luthor is doing something in Metropolis, in addition to a few other foes and stuff. Like, you know what I mean? Work with that character if you can. You know what I mean? He's a complicated guy. And then the thing is that, like, people get mad at you for liking Superman these days. I'll never understand that shit because I'll always be about Clark Kent, damn it. Kal-El, hell yeah. His son, on the other hand, John Kent, when he was a kid, he was cool. But then, like, guess what? Those those damn feminists and all them damn would-be allies and everything got their hands on him and turned him into whatever the hell that is. Like, I can't stand. I can't stand teenage and young adult John Kent. I can't stand him. You know what I mean? And it's because his stories are just really, really shit. His stories are shit. It's not his relationship and all that stuff. Which, by the way, if I was gay, I'd be very offended by everybody. I really would. Because you're taking my lifestyle and you are warping it for a whole damn arrangement of nothing. You know what I'm saying? Because because gay people, let's just be honest, LGBTQ types, that is a fraction of who they are. Some of those people are a lot more complex and in-depth than you think. You know what I'm saying? Like, you talk to them, treat them like people. Like, I treat everybody like people. I really do. There are people I get along with, and then there's people I don't get along with. And you know the thing about it is, I may not be gay, but I at least accept them for who they are. And I don't go on tirades. I don't run around June time going ahead and saying, it's all for you, it's all for you. When at the same time, it should be all for everybody. So it's like the funniest shit when I see that. And the truth is that if you're an ally, you wouldn't have to announce it. You wouldn't have to be over there with a soapbox and a sales pitch every damn time. And you shouldn't be trying to make people feel bad when they don't want to be about your charity and stuff. Have you seen that when people guilt trip people when it comes to things? What the hell make you think? I got other shit going on. What the hell make you think I want to hear a guilt trip from you? I don't even know your name. I know you need to quit spending money on hair dye that clashes with your skin tone. You look like hell. Oh, you know it. Some of these people, they put certain colors in their hair. And you know, like how color theory is. The same thing is like some people can't wear a shade of red on their lips and stuff. Same applies, baby. Like some of that stuff, like when you do things that you did to yourself, you can't take that on me. You did it to yourself. Some people can't pull off blue hair. Some people can't pull off pink hair. Some people can't pull off gray. Well, you could pull off gray, but you keep trying to dye out gray. It's just, woo. What a world we live in. But be you, be you, be you. All I know is that when we're talking and that shit clashes and you looking at me, damn sure I'm not looking at your eyes and all that stuff. I'm looking at why the hell are you making my stigmatism worse? That's why. I go through a lot of pain living as a 37-year-old black man in America. But it's like, at the end of the day, it's like this. You got to grow for you. You got to be amazing to yourself. But just understand that not everybody's going to like you and not everybody's going to be on your side. And you got to carry on with it. You got to live by it. Like why I had to restart from zero when it comes to J360 Radio or J360 TV or anything. Because that's what I got to do. That's what I got to do. So I'm going to be about that. You know? So yeah. But when it comes to like all this stuff with gaming and things, yeah, Stellar Blade is going to be amazing because they're not banking on those stupid narratives that are over here in Western gaming. We need to do better by just not giving into all this stuff. You can go ahead and slide certain things in, but at the end of the day, don't make that the whole overall crux of what you're doing. Sweet Baby goes into this stuff because, once again, like I said about the scaring men off kind of nonsense, yeah, you're losing money when you do stuff like that. You know? And it's just like, if I gave into other things and I wasn't about pushing the J-Man show or I wasn't about pushing jams and all that kind of stuff, you know, I'm not going to give up on my show because of people. I'm going to finish it out and just be done with it all. You know what I'm saying? It's just a very interesting time we live in, but I'm letting you guys know this stuff because somewhere along the line, you got to realize that enough is enough and this isn't helping. This is terrible what we're doing to one another. And then like with all this new technology and we're making mediocre shit with maximum cringe. You know, like, have you looked at Mortal Kombat 1 lately? Have you seen how ugly, like, some of the characters are in there? And this is Mortal Kombat we're talking about, right? Like, but a long time ago, the females in there looked a lot better than they did now. Like, you look at them now, but that's realistic, though. No, it's not. It's terrible because, like, once again, you ruined a character because you felt insecure. That's a problem. And there are a lot of gamers out here that, once again, they play video games and they don't know anything about the narrative, baby. They don't know anything about the message. They could care less about the message. They just want to play games. They just want to enjoy themselves. They just want to try to make some sense out of the life they're living. They're just trying to escape. But you will not let them do such. And that's a damn shame. You know? And if you don't like me, going back to me, I could give a damn. I did 8 years of this. You know what I mean with the J360 label, J360 Radio and everything? Hell yeah, I did 8 years of this, and I did not make the J-Man Show to be liked. I made the J-Man Show because I had something to say. And the truth is that I have a lot to say about all this nonsense going on. And the thing about it is that it's time to go ahead and make some real work. And I'm going to be making mine in addition to like other mediums that I'm doing. This is going to happen, whether you like it or not. So let the restart begin. But until then, though, J-Man signing off. Peace and take care of yourselves because J360 Jams is coming on Friday. And I got to get on out of here. But take care of yourselves, y'all. Laters.